Yo, what's up, man? It's your boy Mess Hall in the house. We are live. Welcome to Live for No Reason. The reason I love this show so much is you never know what's gonna happen. You never know who might show up, who might not show up, what we're gonna talk about. Tonight it's a solo mission with your boy. Bobby B had some other stuff going on. Couldn't lock in a guest for this week. Your boy's been feeling a little under the weather all week long. Been kicking my ass. So threw this thing together last minute, as always, because that's how I do things, man. I make all my decisions based on zero information. That's how we get by. But anyway, hope everyone out there's had a great week. April is upon us. I didn't realize today, as I was driving into my neighborhood, how many daggum beautiful trees there are once they start sprouting and sprouting. All the pinks and the greens and the yellows, and I almost forgot how beautiful the neighborhood is in the springtime. So spring is upon us. Not sure how you guys are doing out there with your COVID, and seems around here in Tennessee, the laws have been getting lightened up a little bit. Out in Nashville, the bars are able to stay open past 2 a.m. now. I saw a snapshot on the news of the streets in Nashville. It's a madhouse out there. So I think for now, I'm going to probably stay away for a little bit longer. Just a little bit longer. See how things go. But other than that, had a pretty good week. Otherwise, been really busy. Kind of want to talk about that today. What it's like being really busy, putting too much on your plate. Yeah, it's about to storm. For sure, it's about to storm here in Tennessee. It is crazy. I think we're expecting hail and flood warnings and tornado watches and all kinds of stuff going on in Tennessee. So, but like I said, I've been putting way too much on my plate. I actually did accomplish one of my goals that I've had for a long time. I did want to become a member of the 20K 90-day club on eBay. I finally got there. So I reached over 20,000 in sales in the last 90 days. So that was awesome to get that far. And then, like I said, man, this week's just, I don't know if I had the flu or what I had, but it was kicking my butt. And didn't really have a whole lot of motivation to do a whole lot of stuff. Oh, sirens are going off in Memphis. Yeah, man. Memphis is about 4 hours from where I'm at. So be safe out there if you're in Memphis. Heart goes out to people in Alabama. I know they had some crazy tornadoes the other day in the Alabama area. Alabama's not even that far from us either. But yes, the spring storms are upon us, man. Thank you. Thank you, Reseller Royalty. Thanks for hanging out, man. I appreciate you. I need to get you on my show, or I'll get on your show. One of the two. Definitely, you and I have a lot in common. We love to yap. We're both yappers. So yeah, that goal was cool. I crossed that line. So now it's just like, what's the next one? You got to reach for the next goal. And I also not sure if it was the best thing to do at the time, but I took on another job, to add to my million other jobs that I already have. Because I'm just not busy enough, I'm only working like 23 hours a day. So at 24th hour, man, I had to fill it up with something. But yeah, I decided I got a job offer to go be one of the supervisors at Black Rifle Coffee Company, which is a company that I really strongly believe in because they support veterans. They're veteran owned. They're a great company. They're a great coffee. I drink their coffee anyway. So I will start doing that job next week as well. Because I've always wanted to work at a cool little coffee shop, And I just believe in having multiple streams of income. Like, of course, the ultimate goal down the road is to, not work for anybody except myself. But you also got to be smart about that and just, make sure you're in that position that you can do it comfortably. And I'm not quite there yet. I mean, financially, I'm fine. I can do fine no matter what. But, I got expensive tastes, man, So I'll be able to pay off a lot more debts before I take that leap of faith and just start doing 100% entrepreneur, my own thing. So I think I took on this job to kind of bridge the gap. And I think that's important people talk about, because I know a lot of my friends, a lot of reseller friends I have, they're exclusively resell full-time, no other job. That's all they do. And I know they love what they do and they're very successful at it. But I'm just a huge believer. I have been my whole life of just having multiple streams coming in from different areas, just in case one of those streams gets cut off. There's no panic. You have something to fall back on. So that would be my advice to newer resellers that want to do this full time. Make sure you're extremely comfortable, bills paid off. You have a good plan. You can be prepared when those summer slowdowns or those certain slowdowns hit, that it's not going to affect you too much. And I'm not there yet. Like I said, I'm in year 2 right now of reselling. And although I did hit that mark, I want to keep that consistent over a year's time, and then maybe make a decision to just start working for myself exclusively. Say what's up to everybody in the chat. Of course, Deborah's in the house. Thrift and Flip, Resale Royalty. Marilyn said, I've got another job. It sure takes away from my eBay. Hope you have more energy than me. I don't have more energy than you. I swear I don't. Especially this last week. I mean, I was sleeping and taking naps, drinking a lot of orange juice, taking my vitamins. Resale Royalty. Part-time reselling is the way to go. And I said this I did an interview on Daily Refinement's channel with Chris. And he said, what do you think the advantages are of being a part-time reseller? And I think the advantages are, it doesn't affect me if things sit for long periods of time. If I know a value of something, I'm not in a hurry to get rid of it because I don't need that money. I don't need that money to survive. And I feel like if I was a full-time reseller and I was just trying to make sure money was coming in every week to help pay my bills, it might sway me to take less offers or make more offers or get less than what I think something is valued, just to get that sale and get that money in so I can pay bills. So I like it as a hobby still because it's fun. And I think if I had to rely on the money to live, it wouldn't be as fun, if that makes sense. And I know eventually I'll get to that point where I'll be comfortable enough to where I can still have that part-time mindset, but be doing it full-time. I think that's the goal, if it makes sense. Have that part-time reseller mindset as you're doing it full-time. That way it stays fun, but there's also not a lot of pressure to get sales and make things happen and get the bills paid. Yeah, so Resale Royalty says you don't want to deal with the anxiety of what if I'm not making sales. Because I see that a lot, especially in like the eBay groups that I'm in, like on Facebook and stuff. People get into panic mode when things slow down. And I don't ever want to feel that panic mode. Like, okay, I made, because you might make, and I do it in my YouTube videos a lot. Like I had one weekend where I had $1,000 profit weekend. And yeah, it was great. It was fantastic. I loved it. It was awesome. But I mean, that's only once every so often that's ever going to happen. It's not a consistent thing. And that's how it is with reselling. It's not a consistent. I can't say, hey, every Friday I'm going to get paid $1,000. That's my paycheck. You don't know that with reselling. You might, there's times where I made one sale, net profit $12, and then that was one day. I made $12 one day. one day I'll make 200. One weekend I make 1,000. The next weekend I make 100. It's so inconsistent. And you have to pretty much average that out over time to try to come up with some kind of consistent thing. So I would definitely recommend doing it part-time for as long as you can to just get everything down to a science, to where you can get to that point where you kind of know what you're going to make each month. I mean, it's not going to be a guaranteed. Some days are going to be better than others. You know, the stimulus checks just hit, so a lot of people might see sales have gone up a lot recently because everyone's got stimulus, everyone's got money. I know I was out driving today by the mall, and it was just a mad how it looked like Black Friday out there. And it's like, oh yeah, of course, everyone's got money now. You know, everyone's got their stimmy checks. They're out there shopping. So sales might have increased online because of that. And then toward the summertime, you know, when people start wanting to get more outdoors and, you know, COVID restrictions are lightened up across the country, sales might drop drastically. And so you just got to kind of prepare for those times. Thrift and Flip. Where are you from, Thrift and Flip? Thanks for hanging out, man. But yeah, I'm pretty excited starting this new venture with Black Rifle Coffee. Really good company, really good brand. I met with the leadership this past week, and I'm excited. You know, I'm excited. I don't even know what to expect, really. It's a brand new store. This is only the second one they're opening in the United States, and it happens to be right down the street from me. So very intriguing. You know, it's a startup brick and mortar company because they're basically a mail order coffee company right now. Make most of their revenue off their e-commerce and website. So only the second store they're opening ever. I think they're trying to open 20 more stores by the end of the year. So there's a lot of room for growth in the company. And in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, you know, there might be an opportunity to get way up in upper management in this company if it's something I want to, you know, pursue. But Marilyn says it's like going on vacation to the beach. I always want to quit my job and sell seashells by the seashore. But too iffy, back to reality. Very true. You always want to stick with, you know, what's consistent and what's you can count on, what's reliable. And I think the ultimate goal is just to get your cost of living down as low as possible. And that's the best way to do it. Get your cost of living to be as low as possible, you know, and then go from there. And that's always hard for me because I got expensive taste, man. You know, like I said, I'm a sneakerhead. $200 shoes are my vice, you know, so I have to have multiple streams of income to take care of what I like. Treat myself good. I like to eat fancy restaurants. No, I'm not going to be a coffee bartender. I'm going to be a supervisor for sure. I will be running front of house operations. And the cool thing about this place is they have their merchandise does just as good as their coffee does. So in this store that we're going to be at is a whole section of like shirts and hats and mugs. And so I'll be in charge of pretty much everything, making sure customers are satisfied. And you guys know me. I'm a people person. I'll be front and center, making sure everybody's happy, having a good time. And it's something, like I said, I want to take on one little extra thing to try to bridge. I got these goals, and I hope everyone out there has goals, man. I hope you guys have goals in mind, like where you want to be in 6 months, where you want to be in a year, where you want to be 5 years from now. I've always kind of planned my life that way. And this job is going to help me bridge that 6 month goal that I have. And once I hit that end of that 6 months, I'll see where I'm at. And then I'll readjust again from there. And that's kind of how I just keep going. You know, when I first started reselling, you know, I made $200 my first month, and then I wanted, you know, and I just kept going and going and going. And here I am 2 years later, hit the 20K in 90 days. And it's just, you got to stay focused and find the energy to do it. because I will say I'm way behind still. I'm looking at my office space right now. I probably have close to 500 unlisted items just piled up over here. And, it kind of gets you down when you look around and see, but you have to keep that mindset, like small progress is still progress. Even if I can get 10 items a day done, you got to be satisfied with that. So it's going to be tougher now that I have another job on top of everything else to try to get through this death pile, as we like to call it. 500 items staring me in the face. But I did bring on somebody to help out. And she's been able to do about 60 items a week for me. So that's a huge help, at least getting it photographed for me, and then I'll get it listed. But it's tough, man, when you're looking at 500 items just staring at you and you're like, oh man, I gotta get the dirty work done, the work none of us like to do, man. I don't know how you guys are doing out there. How's your death piles looking? You guys have huge death piles? Yeah, Resell Royalty says, I feel that it could be overwhelming. I put myself in shopping jail till I get more listed. Yeah, I've tried that myself, man. I don't know. Shopping jail just can't hold me, man. I bail myself out too much. You know what I'm saying? I can't help it. I drive by something and I gotta go in. You just never know. You never know what's going to be in there. Maybe Black Rifle will let you sell their product. Nah, I probably don't want to get into that. Not yet. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I don't know what the rules and regulations are for that. I don't even know if that's even a thing, but I know they got cool products. I mean, I get to wear a hat and t-shirt to work. Can't beat that. You know what I mean? Black Rifle hat and t-shirt to work. That was another good thing about that job is, hey, I don't have to shave. I can wear a t-shirt and a hat and I'm good to go at work. Plus, I believe in the brand. You got to believe in the brand you work for. They're all about veterans. And, being a veteran, it's something I can stand behind. Black Rifle at a gas station in West Virginia. Yeah, I've seen they got the and most gas stations I've going to now, they have the canned Black Rifle espressos now, kind of like Starbucks does with their Frappuccino, bottle of Frappuccinos. Black Rifle makes those canned, ready to go drinks now, which they're really good. I mean, if you like that kind of stuff, I don't know. Give you a little quick boost of energy, get you through the day. Can you wear jammies? No, I don't think you can wear jammies. There is a dress code, but the dress code is lax. It's Tony, what's up, man? Hi from Chicago. I've been to Chicago multiple times, man. Love that city. One of my favorite chefs, Grant Acatz, who runs Alinea out there, and also the Avery Bar. I frequented both those locations. I went to the Chicago Food Show a couple years ago, and that was amazing. It's like a 4-day event, and it almost took all 4 days to do everything. But Chicago's an awesome city, man. Had a blast out there. Yeah, I'm still teaching culinary as well, Resell Royalty. So, that's another. I do that one night a week though, so it's not too bad. It's I do one class a semester, and it's a 5-hour class one night a week, which is cool because it takes a while, because you got to come in with the recipe, you got to break it down, then I got to demo it, show the students how it's done. Then I release them to go do it at their stations, and every student has their own stove and counter and knives and everything at their own station. And then they prepare it and they present it, and I judge it and I grade it. And then after cleanup, 5 hours goes by pretty fast, but it's one night a week, so it's not too crazy. And I don't think I could take on more than that. So yeah. And then, it's about 2 years I've been doing that now, one night a week. And then, I mean, they do have special events I have to be a part of every now and again, which might take up a whole weekend. Like we might be sponsors of a certain event, like the chocolate affair that goes on in Clarksville, or there's certain catering events that Austin P is a part of that we'll have to handle, but it's not too crazy. You know, that's the one job I think I'll always do forever. You know, I had an old chef that I used to work with up there who finally retired. And I think he's 75 years old when he finally walked away. So, and he was still moving and grooving with the rest of us. So I think that's a job that I'll always do. It's just enjoyment for me. I love doing that. Anybody else have any plans for this spring or summer coming up? I mean, it's crazy because just when you think the weather is going to start getting nice, you know, especially here in Tennessee, we get hit with all these thunderstorms. And then Tennessee is just bipolar as it is with weather. I mean, it's hot and sunny one minute, pouring down rain and hail the next, and then the next morning it's cold, and then you wear a jacket when you leave, and then by the time afternoon hits, you wish you were wearing short and t-shirts. It's a craziness. So Tony says he sells vinyl only. How is record picking in your area? Well, all I can say is I see a lot of records when I'm out and about. I don't really know a whole lot about vinyl or what years or what eras you collect, Tony, but you know, I recognize the ones from my era. You know, if I ever saw Prince's Purple Rain vinyl, I picked that up in a heartbeat. But other than that, you know, I don't know anywhere previous to like the 80s vinyl how good it does or anything. I have a couple vinyls that I have in my collection, but haven't really ever gotten into records. So let us know, man. Let us know in the chat how that business is like. You know, what eras are the best ones to find. Maybe it's something that we could start looking into. But yeah, I see records everywhere. All the thrift stores, all the antique stores, all the spots I go to, man. I see vinyl everywhere. But I never really got into that niche, so to speak. Resale Royalty's going to Vegas in June. That's what I'm talking about. I've been to Vegas many, many times. I used to be a degenerate gambler, though. So every time I went to Vegas, it was just at the poker table. Glued to the poker table. Didn't really get to enjoy Vegas too much. But I have played in pretty much every casino in Vegas. So I want to show this one. Anybody know anything about vinyl, about records? It's something that my mom's really into vinyl, man. And I know her ex-husband, he made a killing back in like the early 90s selling all his old like records from the 60s and stuff. In the late 50s and 60s, he sold his whole record collection on eBay and made a lot of money. And I think he retired off of that. But I mean, he had multiple bookshelves full of records and old 45s and all that kind of stuff. And so I know there's definitely a market, and vinyl's cool. It's nostalgia, you know, so I'm pretty sure it does well. I just don't know a whole lot about it, Tony. Yeah, and Resale, do you still sell vinyl with scratches? Because I would think you would probably have to have a record player at home, you know, plug in and test the records out when you get them. But and Resale Royalty says she just won an auction that had some vinyl and concert shirts. Oh, man. Keeping the MJ vinyl for myself. What kind of concert shirts did you get, man? Those are my favorite. I love concert shirts. I found a couple myself today, actually. I got a Kings of Leon concert shirt. And what else did I get? Big and Rich. You remember Big and Rich, that country duo? Save a Horse, Ride a Cowboy, that group. I found a concert shirt from them. Yeah, concert shirts are cool, man. It was funny because, I was talking about Purple Rain, which is probably one of my favorite albums and movies of all time. But one of the people that's going to be working with me, her name is Apollonia. I was like, your name's Apollonia. She said, yeah. I said, was your dad a Prince fan? She's like, oh, yeah, the biggest Prince fan. I was like, yeah, okay. It had Hendrix, Joplin, and Panic at the Disco. That's what I'm talking about. You know what I didn't know about Janis Joplin is, what's that big time record producer? God, what's his name? He discovered Whitney Houston and all of them. But the very first person he signed was Janis Joplin. Can't remember his damn name now. Is it Clive Davis? I don't know. Let me look it up real quick. We got the power of the internet. Clive Davis. Yeah, I was right. Clive Davis discovered Janis Joplin, the first artist he ever signed. And then, of course, went on to sign Springsteen and Whitney Houston and all of them. But yeah, music's huge, man. So, yeah, Clive Davis. Janis Joplin was his number one first ever artist. And my mom's a huge Janis Joplin fan, so that's how I know a lot about her. And Panic at the Disco, what happened to them, Reseller Royalty? I haven't heard nothing from them in a while, man. They had like a really good run for a little bit. But yeah, Tony, if you're still in there, man, let us know how vinyl does. It's something that we all, I think, have a little bit interested in. And I see it all the time. Just don't know what eras are the best, But other than that, I haven't had a whole lot. I did a little bit of thrifting today. There were a couple yard sales this morning. Before the rain came, it started raining about 10 o'clock this morning. So I hit up a couple yard sales. I did find this really cool piece. It's, I don't know if you guys have heard of the Snow Babies, but I found the Snow Babies Cinderella set. And I mean, I paid $20 for it, but it's really cool. A lot of the comps on eBay are like $80, $90 for it. So I should be able to make some good money on it. But I found that not a whole lot, really. Went to a couple spots today. And then it was raining a lot. And you know how it is when you're out shopping and going store to store and it's raining. It's not a lot of fun. Because, they're trying to run with your bags to your car, your truck, so the stuff you just bought doesn't get all wet. Found a couple cool pairs of shoes, a couple Air Maxes. But kind of like what me and Reseller Royalty were talking about, when I get to a point where my death pile is so big, when I go out and decide I'm going to go thrifting or shopping anyway, I keep my profit margins really high. Like I'm looking for mostly just home runs when I go out because I have enough bread and butter stuff. I have enough of everything. So I'm just in there looking for home run type items, $30, $40 profit margin type items. And I just leave everything else behind because I have enough of that other stuff already that I haven't even listed yet. So that's another kind of tactic to just get myself out of shopping jail for a little bit, just get a little couple hour pass from shopping jail. As long as I can find those really huge profit margin home run items, then it was worth going. But if I don't find those, then I just don't really buy anything. All right. So Tony says the 80s is the hottest category for me. Of course it is. I knew it was going to be the 80s. Prince, Police, Go-Go's, Depeche Mode, etc. just because a record is old does not make it value. Very true, because I did find a couple records. I did look up a couple from the 70s, and I even found a couple from like the 60s, and they just weren't really worth a whole lot. I do have, like I said, I have a couple that I keep on ice. I got one of Leonard Skinner's first records, vinyl on ice, but that was more like late 70s. And Jimmy Buffett, Reseller Royalty says, Jimmy Buffett does well. Well, everybody loves Jimmy Buffett, right? How do you not like Jimmy Buffett? So yeah, I'll make sure I add that to the list, but I can say I do run into vinyl a lot. I just don't really look through it. You know, there's a lot of multiple, because I love going to antique stores myself. It's one of my secret weapons to my resale game, because you get to, and I heard people talk about this, to actually own antique booths, is there's something that they specialize in that they know a lot about, and that's what represent most of the things that are in their booth. But they also try to look for what they call booth fillers, just things to put in there to take up the extra space, you know, when they don't have enough inventory at the time. So that's where you get the best value, is when they're using these things for booth fillers that they don't actually know the value of, and you can get stuff really cheap that's very valuable. But I have seen a couple booths that have vinyl records in there just kind of as booth fillers, just never really thumb through them. But now I will. Tony, I will now, especially if it's some 80s stuff, because I know about the 80s. I grew up in the 80s, so I know all the goodness. I wonder if the Breakfast Club soundtrack is worth anything. That's my soundtrack, man. The Breakfast Club soundtrack. And something else. I did see today. I saw the original Superman movie with Christopher Reeves. It was the vinyl soundtrack to that movie. So movie soundtrack vinyl do good from movies back in the 80s too? Or is it just hot artists? I wonder. Because I almost picked up that Superman vinyl soundtrack. But like I said, it's not a niche that I'm really into. But I just thought it was cool because the cover had the big S on it and stuff. But because I know back in the day, soundtracks were the joint. If you get the movie soundtrack. Resale Royalty says my vintage clothing. Yeah, vintage clothing's hot. It's been hot for a while. I'm hoping it doesn't go away. Because it's true. You know what I found the other day? Resale Royalty, I found a pair of Jinko jeans. You remember Jinko jeans? Those really super baggy ones? And those things are going for like 50, 60 bucks. You know, just for old 90s vintage pair of really super baggy Jinko jeans. But yeah, it's been crazy week, weather-wise, resale-wise. Sales so far this weekend haven't been bad. I think I have currently, let me check the old 7. Got 7 sales so far, which isn't bad for the weekend so far. I usually sell, 7 to 12, sometimes up to 20 items a weekend, depending. You said you found some Coogie jeans. Yep. I just sold a whole lot of Coogie jeans a couple weeks ago. They're still sought after for sure. I yet to find a Coogie sweater though, because that's like the grail. If you could find a Coogie sweater, like the old Notorious B.I.G. Biggie Smalls sweaters, that's what I really been on the lookout for. But I want, I hope everyone's staying motivated. Don't laugh. Oh, we gotta show this one. Don't laugh, but my favorite soundtrack is Footloose. It's wonderful to listen to riding on the backseat of a Goldwing. Dude, Footloose is the joint, man. I'm not laughing. That's one of my favorite movies, man. With Kevin Bacon, that song is legit, man. Anytime that song comes on, you just gotta start foot tapping. It's mandatory. That is an awesome soundtrack. And it's a great movie too. Did you see the remake? Marilyn did the remake of Footloose. Wasn't as good, but the original Footloose movie and soundtrack gets an A+ from your boy. Love that. There's a lot of good movies in the 80s. A lot of good soundtracks out there. But other than that, just got to keep it going. Got to stay motivated, man. Don't get deterred. Don't get don't be all Debbie Downered and stuff. I know I was at Goodwill the other day, and one of the reasons I love going to Goodwill is it helps you appreciate things more, helps you appreciate how blessed you are in life. Because I saw this family, they were sitting on like a really, really bad conditioned couch. I mean, it was in pretty rough shape, this thing. It looked like it had been sitting outside for a couple years. And this family was sitting on it. And I remember the lady saying, God, this couch is so much better than the one that we have right now. Like, we have to buy this. Can we afford to get this? And I'm just like, I'm over here in the shirts, just kind of eavesdropping on the conversation that the husband and wife are having. And he's like, yeah, I think, I think today we can afford it. Go ahead. Give me that ticket. Let me go pay for this thing. Let's take it home. And it really makes you understand that, we are very fortunate to be able to do what we do. And, some people, the smallest things that don't look too appealing or appeasing to you, it makes their whole day. And you don't really know what people are going through. Everyone's got a story. Everyone's got something going on. That's why I love everyone. I talk to everyone. I love people. And, something as simple as like an old beat down couch just made them happy. And, you really got to learn to appreciate the things that you have, and the things that you're going through sometimes aren't as bad as what other people are going through. And I found that I've learned the most from talking to everyone, all walks of life, all different types of people, religions, whatever you're into. I've talked to everybody because I want to get a round-based knowledge of everything that's going on. And even at the supermarket today, I think I just have that face where people would just want to talk to me. But I actually had like a great 10-minute conversation with a guy at a grocery store who was just buying, I swear it was like $50 worth of hot dogs and bologna. That's all he had in his cart. Hot dogs and bologna. And I'm standing behind him, and he turns, and this is an older guy, probably in his 60s. He turns and looks at me, and he's like, hey, young man, would you like to go ahead of me? I said, no, sir. I'm in no hurry. I'm in no rush. Go ahead. Are you having a barbecue or something? Are you having a cookout? He's like, oh, no. Every once in a while, these hot dogs and bologna, they go on sale. And I come in here and I buy up as much as I can. And I got a big deep freezer in my garage. And a fried bologna sandwich. Those are my favorite things. So I like to stock up. And we just kept talking and talking. And it's just cool, man. That's why I think COVID really put a damper on just being able to talk to people, going out. Some people are still scared to even leave the house, but I really miss that, man. I really miss talking to people, all walks of life. It's just the greatest thing, because you learn from different people. You get to see what different people are into. And just the fact this guy was so happy that his hot dogs and bologna was on sale. And he was stocking up, man, putting it in the deep freezer. You know? So it was really cool. And he's like, yeah, I got me a new grill. And that's all I do now. I just grill. I'm grilling dogs. I'm grilling this. I'm grilling that. It's just, I love grilling. And then we just talked the whole time we're in line together. So you never know, man, what people got going on. All right. Oh, here we go, Tony. Let's see what you got going on, brother. Woo! I have over 10,000 records in my collection. 8,000 of them are worth $1. The rest, $5 to $20. Have to go through a lot to find the keepers when sourcing. Yeah, so I imagine it's a lot like books, probably, Tony. Because I learned when I first started Amazon a couple years ago, everyone kept telling me books is where it was at with Amazon. But they said for every 100 books you scan, you might find one worth $5 or something. But it sounds kind of like what you're talking about with records. Because I remember that's why going through books for Amazon didn't last very long. I didn't find it exciting at all. I mean, I did find a couple good ones here and there. I sold a couple books for $20, $30 in the beginning. But I mean, that was after, going to the Goodwill bins even, where they have hundreds of books in this big, huge cart and just scanning each one and going and going and going. And like nine out of 10 aren't worth anything, so, but it sounds like for you kind of have a base knowledge, which is very important. You probably know exactly what to look for, Tony, when you're out there sourcing and stuff. So that helps a lot, especially what Resale Royalty was talking about with like vintage concert shirts, knowing something's from the 90s, knowing it's vintage, knowing what era it's from, having that base knowledge is really important when you're out there sourcing for stuff. You have to really lock into certain niches and get really good at it. And it just saves you so much time when you're out there sourcing and you start learning what's valuable, what's not valuable, what to leave behind, what's worth taking a risk on. Because even like in that vintage game that we're talking about, Tony, with t-shirts, just because a t-shirt's old doesn't mean it's worth something, and same with toys that I found. Like today I found a Barbie, it was a Barbie something. I mean, it was from 1996 and it was worth like $20. And they wanted $15 for it. And then like NASCAR stuff, which I'm a huge fan of NASCAR stuff, but it's just not worth a whole lot. I mean, I find early 90s NASCAR stuff all the time. And some of it's valuable, some of it's just not worth nothing. So you have to kind of know, you have to have a base knowledge. Just because you find a shirt. Another example, I have a Guess button-up shirt, vintage, made in Hong Kong, Guess jeans, and it's like a $20 shirt. You would think one of the big brands like Guess was back in the early 90s, made in Hong Kong tag, you would think it would be worth, $40, $50, but it's not. So you just got to kind of do trial and error with stuff like that. Resale Royalty. Amazon is the only platform I have not tried. From, hanging out with my buddy Buffalo Picker, who is like Amazon or die kind of guy. I mean, he'll tell you, and I've heard from others, that you want to make the really, really big money in this resale game, Amazon is the way to go. I mean, that's the platform to make the big bucks, to make the big moves, to move the huge amounts of inventory. A lot of people love it because you source the same way we do as eBay sellers, but you send off your inventory to Amazon warehouses, so you don't have to keep it in your house or in bins in your garage. Amazon holds it in the warehouses. So That's the biggest appeal Amazon has to people, is you're not keeping it in-house. You're getting it out the door. And then the customer service piece and all that other stuff, Amazon handles all that. So that's the huge appeal. But at the same time, I'm just not into that. If I find something, I don't want to buy 600 of them. It's just not exciting to me, to where I find something on sale for $1 and they're selling for $6 on Amazon, and I buy 600 of them. And then I send that whole pallet into Amazon and then wait for them to sell one by one. But I mean, that's the platform. And, I trust Buffalo Picker. That's one of my homies. He has a warehouse now. He makes a killing. And he said, he keeps telling me all the time, hey man, if you want the big money, you want to quit working for anyone else, Amazon is the business you need to get into. But so far I'll scan everything that I come across, especially if I'm at Walmart or TJ Maxx or wherever. I'll scan it, and if I'm eligible to sell it on Amazon, then I'll go ahead and buy it. And I just do fulfill by merchant, which means I have it here still. But I have sold things on Amazon, but I haven't done any FBA shipments where Amazon fulfills them for me. I haven't got into that yet. And it's not because I might not eventually. It's just not something I'm really interested in right now. I'm more interested in building my eBay store to 1,000 listings first. That's like my number one goal. Get my eBay store to 1,000 listings. That's the goal. I'm trying to do that by June. If I can get there by June and I got 1,000 listings and I can keep it pretty consistent at 1,000 listings, then I might start dipping toes into what Amazon's got to offer and what Amazon's got going on. Take that a little bit more serious, but I try to knock down one goal at a time before I start adding too many other things to interfere with it, if that makes sense. But yeah, Amazon is the platform. I mean, they're number one for sure. But I just love the thrill of the hunt still. I'm a treasure hunter. I love trying to find that diamond in the rough, that one item. I just love that. It's the funnest thing to me. And I've been doing it my whole life since I was a kid. I mean, even when I was a kid, going to flea markets in Berkeley and the Bay Area, going to thrift stores as a kid, just trying to find that one, praying that I find a Bart Simpson t-shirt in the thrift store, because I couldn't afford to buy the $25 Bart Simpson t-shirts back in the 80s. Was it 89, I think, when they came out? Or I would just go to the flea market and have the bootleg screen printer guy make me one, So I just always been that way. I have right now over 600 listings, Resale Royalty. I'm at 600. But like I said, I have 500 that are unlisted. I have someone that is helping me. She's taking pictures for me, and she's been able to do about 60 a week because she works full time too. So I think with her and I together, trying to do all these things that I'm staring at that's just making me sweat, we should be able to get it all listed by June. Weighing in the fact that I have other things, other jobs. Now I'm with Black Rifle too. I'm trying to calculate the numbers and the math. I think June's a good target for 1,000 listings. And we'll go from there. Maybe Amazon's next. Maybe 2,000 listings on eBay will be next. I don't know. I just know my vision, locked in, tunnel vision goal, 1,000 listings by June on eBay. And that's all I'm worried about right now. Facebook Marketplace, yeah, it's good too. I sell a lot of stuff on Facebook Marketplace. It's usually stuff that I don't want to ship on eBay. I'll put on Facebook Marketplace. Like I have a bunch of golf bags. Like those are a pain to ship. I'd rather put them on Facebook Marketplace. And then like I have a couple like big toy sets, you know what I'm saying? Like if it's like a Barbie castle or like the Frozen castle, or I have like a Hot Wheels car center big play set. Like I'll put that stuff on Facebook Marketplace because I don't want to either ship it and it might get broken, or it's just too big and weird and bulky to ship, you know. So those are the things I kind of put on Facebook Marketplace right now. But you say you're at 438 right now. That's good, man. That you don't suck. That's good. 438 is good. I think for me, I heard a long time ago, the numbers you really want to look at is what your current listings are and your sales, and that you want those two numbers to be within 150 or 200 of each other. Like for example, if you have 438 listings, but you have 300 sold items, like you're right where you need to be. You're within that 138 margin, if that makes any sense. Someone told me that a while ago, and since I've been looking at other people's numbers when they posted on Instagram, it seems the people making the most money and the most sales, that's kind of where they're at, where their number of listings and their number of solds are within like 150 to 200 off of each other, if that makes sense. Because like right now I have 606 active listings with 431 sold. So that's about 170 off. If you take 606 minus 431, it's about 170 difference. So that's kind of that area you want to be within. Those numbers got to be kind of close. And I also have 244 sent offer to buyers. I got to get hot on that too. But that's kind of been what I've been tracking. Because I think if you have 606 listings and you have 120 sold, I think there's a sign there that there's something not going right. That maybe you got to start looking into what you're selling and why you're only selling, 1/6 of your inventory. So it kind of makes sense to me that they're close in number like that, which is why I feel like I'm doing pretty good on eBay. Oh, flips to pay the bills. What is up, man? Bill Tackett is in the house. One of the really, really good dudes in our business, man. Love this dude a lot. I'm doing great. I hope you're doing good, man. I've been seeing, it's been kind of nice though. I've been kind of under the weather this week. I haven't been doing a whole lot of social media, and it's actually been kind of nice not to worry about social media. I haven't made any videos or hardly put anything on Instagram. But Bill's been killing it, man. I don't know if you guys don't know Bill. He's a good follow on Instagram. Flips to pay the bills. He's also with my homie Buffalo Picker on Friday nights. But yeah, he's doing. I see you're doing good, man. You're killing it. All the fines you've been getting. I'm jealous a little bit. But yeah, it was kind of funny because the last time we did this, when I did my show last Saturday, I had my buddy AJ on, who's a chef, and we had a great time talking to him. But I had tried like advertising the show for the first time just to see what would happen. And then some dude got on there and was just talking all kinds of smack, calling me a peckerhead and all kinds of stuff. So that was kind of fun to deal with that for the first time. So got that notch in my belt now. Got that out of the way. But yeah, everything's good, man. Just grinding, man. Just trying to find the energy to keep grinding, keep going toward these goals. It's so important to stay humble. Said you got you some Mofair Flyknit Crimsons today for $4. Man, see, Bill be finding this stuff, man. Hey, I'm gonna tell you what, Bill, we gotta link up. Man. You're not too far from me. Once all this COVID crap settles down, me, you, Buffalo, we all gotta go hang out somewhere. Have some thrift wars or something, dude. Get some cheeseburgers. My favorite food. Yeah, there's always gonna be haters, man, but haters make the world go round. You gotta have them. All right, Reseller Royalty, thanks for hanging out, man. That means a lot. like I said, we're gonna collab one day because I love your channel. Reseller Royalty is the shiznit. And keep grinding, man. I'm gonna reach out to you soon because I want to have you on. We gotta do a collab together. I appreciate you. But yeah, man, everything else is good. Having a good time, working, grinding. You know, I don't know if you guys seen pictures I've been posting of my German Shepherd puppy. He's getting huge. Trying to train him to be that killer guard dog that everybody needs. You know, he's the freaking, I love him to death. He's the coolest dog ever. He's about 4 months old now. He's already huge. So I've been dealing with that, trying to get him comfortable with riding in the car, comfortable with going on walks without trying to rip my arm off, you know, doing all that good stuff. I don't know if you guys have puppies or got any. This is like the first puppy I've ever had in years, man. Like the first dog, I think 20 years ago when I got our first family dog was a puppy. But since then, I've been kind of getting, you know, dogs that have already been grown or whatever. So it's the first puppy experience I've had in like 20 years. And it's been insane, man. The dude's all over the place. Loves to wake me up at 2 in the morning to go to the bathroom. Bill, got your first shot today. That's what I'm talking about. I get my first shot next week on the 1st of April. So looking forward to that. Get that over with. Yeah, you've been to Nashville. It ain't that far. No, I'm not crate training because there's usually someone home all the time at my house. You know, because my daughter, she's 17 and she's doing the distance learning or whatever. Distance learning, online school because of COVID. So she's home pretty much all day. And then I'm home a lot, you know. Starting next week, I won't be home too much. And then if usually my son's home if none of us are home, and he's 12. So there's always someone home pretty much. So we all take turns just making sure he ain't doing nothing crazy. But yeah, German Shepherds are the best. He's so smart already. Very cool dog, man. And can't wait to see what he becomes. Yeah, see, nighttime he's good, man. I mean, I can't really get mad at him for waking me up to go use the bathroom now. I mean, that's cool. And we have a doggy door, so I've been pretty much leaving that up now. So he's been going through the door himself now, not waking me up much anymore. But I mean, he's not chewing anything. He hasn't had an accident in the house in like a month now. So the big thing now is just getting him comfortable, you know, because I want to start taking him down to the river and stuff, you know, during the summer. He does not like getting in the car, man, or the truck. He don't like getting in my truck right now. And Marilyn says I should get a book about training shepherds. I agree. I saw one at Goodwill the other day. Actually, I almost picked it up, man. It said German Shepherds, how to train. I was like, maybe I should pick this up. But he's a good dog, man. He don't chew nothing. He's doing good, man, so far. You know, he's starting to mature a little bit. And his ears haven't stood all the way up yet. They're still kind of like floppy, which is cute. It's pretty cool. But yeah, man, we're approaching an hour. I only wanted to go on for about an hour tonight. You know, my co-host, it was unavailable. Doing a solo mission tonight. I appreciate everyone coming to hang out. Yeah, Bearded Thrift Machine. Yeah, I actually bought some stuff off of him before, Bill. Yeah, I talked to him. I've DM'd him a couple times on Instagram. I think didn't he used to be a K9? He used to be a K9, right? I think, from what I remember. But yeah, me and him, we talk junk to each other back and forth a little bit on Instagram. But was he? I think he was a canine. Here come the thunderstorms. I knew it was coming. Supposed to have some bad storms tonight in Tennessee. And I hear the thunder now. Wow, that's craziness. Yeah, see, yeah, he was a canine. Yeah, I have to reach out to him. Say, how do I turn my German Shepherd into a monster? But all right, that's it, man. It's been an hour. That's all I wanted to do. Just check in with everybody, say hi. Hope everyone's having a great week, great weekend. Hit me up on Instagram, DM me if you want to. Yeah, I'm getting some rest. I feel great today, man. Last week, like I said, last week I wasn't feeling good at all, but I feel fantastic today, which is why I want to come on and say hi to everybody. And I thank you guys for hanging out. It means the world to me. I appreciate you guys. Mess Hall Days on Instagram too. If you want to hang out, shoot me a DM. Ask me any questions about reselling or cooking or whatever, man. I'm your boy. And I'll see you again soon. Have a great weekend, everybody. I'm out. Woo!